This is the plaintiff, Joanne Gibson. She says she brought a few items of jewelry into the defendant's shop for repair, and the man basically botched the job. Her watch fell apart, her pearl earrings were returned without the backings, and the prongs to her ring were set incorrectly. The defendant is incapable of making the repairs. She has no choice but to sue, and that's just what she's doing here and now for the $1,000 she's owed. This is the defendant, Earl Grenfell Jr. He says he should have listened to his instincts the day the plaintiff walked into his store because he just knew she was going to be something awful. The woman actually went to the cops to have him arrested because her items took a little longer than expected to be completed due to an illness. Bottom line, he returned the plaintiff's repaired items. She paid him and is now suing? Please. He's accused of moving too slowly. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,865 for defamation of character and other monies owed.
Okay. All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says the jeweler ruined some of her precious jewelry. She says her watch actually fell apart. But the defendant says the plaintiff is a nightmare and so unreasonable. It's the case of watch and learn.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Gibson, you are suing Earl Grenfell Jr.,
Yes.
Owner of Spellbound, that's
Yes,
the name of your jewelry store, for $1,000 in damages that you say you have sustained and wasted time and trips in order to get some jewelry repaired, which according to you was not repaired well or at all. Tell me what happened.
Well, originally, first week of January, I delivered 6 pieces of jewelry to Mr. Grenfell.
And what were they?
Pearl earring to be matched, pearl necklace and a pearl bracelet to be restrung, a gold chain, and a Coach watch. I have the ticket.
May I see it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, go on.
This was January 6th, week of. By January 31st, I still had not any kind
Why
of...
are the date received not written on any of these?
I have it on a different one.
I know, but
on that
the
one.
one that you gave the... That's
Well,
bizarre.
we had a young girl that was working there that...
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
And so by the 31st of the month, I still had not any information. I'd left several phone calls, messages, and wanted to know what the update was on the repairs. I was mostly concerned about my ring. It was a special gift.
Okay.
I filed a complaint with the Nassau...
Wait. Within 3 weeks you were filing complaints? Were you calling him and he wasn't calling you back? What would be the
Nothing.
No, I don't know what that means. Were you calling him?
Yes.
Was he calling you back?
No.
Okay, and when you would call, would you get a recorder?
Yes.
And you would leave a message?
Yes, I left
And your
several.
messages were unreturned?
Correct.
How many messages did you leave?
I don't know the answer
But like,
to that.
you know, more like 10 or several?
Several.
Okay,
several.
and then you were filing a complaint with whom?
I went to the county DA.
Okay.
They gave me advice as to how to handle it.
What did they tell you?
They told me to write a letter to Mr. Grenfell, copy them, and then once they had received the letter, they would proceed with a formal complaint.
And what happened?
I stopped, after I was at the office, I stopped in at the store, and Mr. Grenfell was there.
What did he say for why he hadn't returned your calls?
He said that he had fallen, he was injured, he'd fallen on the ice, and he was sorry he couldn't do this, he couldn't get the repairs done. So I understood. So on the 1st of March, after having given him some time to recuperate, I sent him a text and asked for my ring. Of all the jewelry, I wanted my ring. I had a special event.
And did you get it?
Yes, I got it on the...
And was that acceptable?
I took it. It's poorly repaired.
Why'd you take it then?
I took it because I didn't want to go through this.
Okay, did you pay him for it?
Yes, I paid.
What's poorly repaired about it?
The supports, I don't know what you call them, are uneven.
Okay, I need you to show me what you're talking about.
Sure.
Just come up to this side for me right here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you look around, they're all different lengths.
You mean, are you referring to the prongs?
Yeah, the prongs, thank you.
And had he re-pronged everything?
Yes.
Okay, so you took it and then what?
I took it and I left. I paid him cash, $100. That's actually what he asked for. He said that I had gone
I don't know
through...
okay. That's actually what he asked for instead of what?
Instead
you
of
supposed to pay a lot more?
$250.
Okay, so he was trying to give you a break because of the difficulty.
Absolutely.
Got it. Go ahead and go back to the lectern. Here, take your ring with you. So then, did he also give you the... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Did he also give you the necklace and the bracelet restrung?
Yes, he did.
And those were fine?
Yes,
Okay.
those were absolutely
So then
fine.
that left what? The gold chain and the watch?
And the pearl earring.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so when did you get those? You eventually got those back, right?
Eventually I did.
But not before you had to make another visit to the police station.
Yeah, the
And
first...
so you make a visit to the police station in April.
Yes, correct.
And when you walk in, wonder of all wonders, you're there? What are you doing at the police station?
I was downstairs.
Doing what?
My friend was retiring, and I
Okay,
was
so
going
just
to a retirement
coincidentally,
party.
you were there at a party
Right.
at the police station. And then someone goes, dude, there's somebody filing a police report on you upstairs.
That's what he said to me. He goes, I'm at this. He goes, Earl, this can't be you. We know you. I said, what's going on? He goes,
Hey,
there's a
just
woman
because
upstairs
somebody
trying
knows
to
a
have you
police officer
arrested.
doesn't mean they can't do something
Goes,
that's... Okay.
she's trying to have you arrested.
Do you go up?
I went up.
Yeah, that put a damper on the party.
Yeah.
All right, so you go up, and then a police officer kind of brokered between the two of you how to resolve these last steps.
Correct.
At that point, what was still due?
The watch, the earring, and the gold chain. Which
Okay,
he
and so when did you... So at that point, he promises to give you those things on when?
On the 3rd.
And did that happen?
Yes. And that
So
was
what
perfect.
we're really talking about here is the watch.
The watch.
All right, and so what happened with the watch?
The minute the day that I had it, it fell apart.
Show me how it's fallen apart. Talk to me and tell me what's going on. Because
Well, Your
if
Honor,
I give
I
you
first
jewelry,
met her-
wait a minute.
All right.
If I give you jewelry to repair in the beginning of January,
This is
I
not
don't
true.
expect you to take 4 months to take
It's
care
not
of
true,
it.
anything she's saying.
Nothing she said is true.
She bought a ring from a local jeweler. She
Uh-huh.
brought it into me because she bought a white gold ring. She came to me and said, I bought this ring from a local jeweler, and he won't take it back. I didn't know it was white gold. I said, how could you not know this ring is white gold? She goes, well, I want a yellow gold. I said, well, don't expect this to be done in a week or two. This is going to take me a lot of time. I'm going to do it late at night when I'm closed. Because it's a lot of dedication of time. Get it done. I did it for her, calling me every single day. I said, Joanne, by you calling me every day is not going to make it go any faster. And I had to match pearls to her necklace because she wanted it longer, new clasp on it, knotted, restrung, did the clasp on the bracelet as well. And I did
Who
not...
is the lady who's with you?
That's my wife, Alita.
Okay, but she doesn't work there, right?
No, she was just there answering the phone sometimes at night
Okay,
for me.
does she have any evidence, or she's here for moral support?
Moral support.
Okay, so go on.
And she answered the phone sometime when Joanne called.
Do you have any messages?
I have text messages from Joanne.
Text messages back
Yeah.
and forth where you
Yes.
say what the
Yes.
agreement was and she
Now,
says...
I don't have the end where she accused me of giving her a cheap knockoff and she
Okay.
didn't want to pay.
What cheap knockoff did she...
She's saying the Coach watch is a cheap knockoff and that... Sorry.
You get the mic, thank you.
She's saying that the Coach watch is a cheap knockoff and she shouldn't have had to pay for it.
A cheap knockoff, meaning that you pulled a switcheroo on a
She's
Coach
saying
watch?
that I gave her... Well, what happened, Your Honor, she brought in the watch. The crystal was totally scratched. You couldn't see the numbers. She said it had a great sentimental attachment. The links were broken. The clasp was broken. The stem was broken. When I opened the watch, it had water in it. And I said, you're missing the gasket. There's a rubber piece on the back. She says, it doesn't work. I said, it's not going to work. It's rusted. I said, this watch needs a new watch. I said, I can get you another watch cheaper. It's going to cost to fix this. She said, I've had a sentimental attachment to this watch. I want to get it fixed. And I explained to her, I said, this is, again, I don't want it like the ring, where there's going to be every day calling me. I have to get the parts from Coach. I have to use authentic parts and transplant anything that's salvageable from yours onto this and vice versa. But the crystal's no good, the movement's no good, the stem and crown are no good.
So did you replace the crystal?
I bought a brand new Coach watch.
And then
Now, I had to close in the meantime because my store had mold in it and I got very ill.
Oh, goodness.
And yeah, I got very ill. And matter of fact, on the envelope I have it in here and it's full of mold. So
What envelope?
the intake envelope, I do have the date.
Wait. Is that hers?
This is her intake envelope, yeah. where
Okay,
all the
what
notes.
does it say under date promise? Is that filled out?
I have here, it's, there was no promise date because it was a
Exactly.
project.
Exactly.
I knew it was going to take a long time to do this. And actually, I bought a Coach watch. So when I went down to my friend's
So you
retirement...
actually bought a Coach watch
Yeah.
to put the pieces together in there for
The only thing I was
How
able
much
to
did that-
salvage...
Wait a minute. How much did the Coach watch cost?
$154.99.
Okay, so you bought that Coach watch and then you put in the new...
I gave it to my watchmaker because I was closed now because of the mold.
Right.
Gave it to my watchmaker, paid him $125 to take all the parts, which he thought I was crazy. He goes, Earl, just give her. I said, nope.
You mean
she wants me to salvage as
swindle her
many
and just
parts
tell her,
as I can.
yeah, this is the one your grandmother gave you, right? Okay.
So I said to
you
my
paid him to actually go ahead and do all that. Do you have the receipt from paying him?
No.
Okay, go on.
So I gave her all. I'm at the police station and they're telling me this can't be the same person. No. I go upstairs and Joanne, I had been texting her back and forth, been in touch with her, and she's upstairs trying to have me arrested for stealing her watch. And I looked, I go, what are you doing? I just spoke to you yesterday. Oh, I didn't know what to do. I wanted my watch back. I go, so you're trying to have me arrested for stealing your watch? I'm like, Joanne, I've been in touch with you all along. I said, you tell me one thing, it's not a problem, feel better, and now you're going behind my back trying to have me arrested for stealing your watch. Nothing's being stolen here. You know I'm closed, and you know I'm sick, and I had to walk away from my store for my health reason. I have mold poisoning. And while I was working on her ring, I had actually cut my 2 fingertips off, and I was doing this with small casts on my finger and still accommodated her. And she complained, and she gave me $25 for fixing the ring. And I said to her, instead of the $250, you've been inconvenienced. I said, just give me whatever you want. And that was it. When it came down to paying for the watch, the agreement was $175 because the agreement was $250, but I felt because she was inconvenienced, I would take only $175. I met her at the police station in front of the sergeant. I gave her the watch. She put it on her wrist. I'm so glad to get my watch back. I said, Joanne, I'm glad this is over. You happy? Yes. She tried taking the envelope, and I said, no, this is my proof. There's all the officers here. And she put it on her wrist. Prior to this, she said to me, the detective said I don't have to pay you. I'm like, that's not what he said to me. I said, Joanne, you have to pay me. I said, you're not even paying me for what I've got into this watch. You're only paying me a nominal amount of money. I said, I'm in the negative on this whole repair. Right. The watch cost me more.
Take a look at the watch and tell me what happened there, because she says this happened right after picking it up.
This is actually, it looks like she pulled it and the pin came out.
Okay,
That's all that is.
Can you fix that?
It's a spring pin. Not right here, I can't, but I can.
Did you ever take that watch to somebody else and get it repaired?
No, I never have. And in fact, the watch was in perfect working order. It was not leaking. It was not rusted.
So why'd you bring it to be repaired?
The stem was loose. The stem was loose. That's the only thing that was wrong with it.
How can it be in perfect working order with a loose stem?
Well, the only thing was that I could not adjust the time on it.
Did he tell you, lady, it'll cost you, it's a $100 watch. It'll cost you less to buy a new watch than to repair it. Did he tell you that?
No, he said, no problem, it's just the stem.
Okay. Tell me about your lawsuit for $3,500 for defamation of character, and $365 of it is the cost for repairs that you wish you would have charged?
Well, I can't go back on my word for the watch.
Exactly, but you're still, but that didn't stop you from suing for it. You're suing for what you felt
it was for the
repair.
original ring. She never paid me for the ring. She never paid me for the chain repair.
Stop a second. She didn't because you agreed for her not to, because you were taking 6 months to fix a repair. So that's you charge her the price that you wanted to charge her, that you accepted, and now you want to turn around because you're mad because she sued you, and you want the cost of the repairs that you didn't charge, you want me to charge them. No. Now, you're also suing for $3,500 for defamation of character. Tell me about that.
So she walks out of the jewelry store. She had looked at the ring, she said, or the watch, and she says, hey, it's good, and the ring, it's all fine, and then starts to complain afterwards. Does she get thrown out of court, or can she still have a case?
I think if you walk out of the store and you said it was okay, then it's okay.
Is that right? So you have to look before you leave, and if you don't, you're out of court?
Yeah, definitely. If you had the chance to actually look at the merchandise and then you were okay with it, and so...
What if it's subtle? I mean, what if it's like really subtle?
I mean, she saw it, she looked at it.
But do you really, when you go into a repair shop, say, do you really look that closely when you get it back?
You just had it repaired, so yeah.
So you really look that closely?
Yes.
Okay, you're more thorough than me. Going inside the courtroom.
Well, this is a public record.
What
I'm
is
a
a
master
public
jeweler.
record?
What she's doing, and she went on Yelp.
A
customer
lawsuit?
called me.
She went on Yelp and what?
And they said, this lady's on there saying that you took a Coach watch and you gave her a knockoff. I said, can you print it?
Let me see that.
I can't find it.
Did you file something on Yelp?
I don't have, no.
Did you file something on
I don't
Yelp?
belong to Yelp or
He said
whatever.
it was on social
Did you
media.
ever put in a complaint?
No.
On the internet?
No.
Okay, so no on your defamation of character, you have zero proof. No on me asking her to pay for things you didn't ask her to pay for, so that's just a general no on your counterclaim. Now, on your claim against him, here are the problems that we have. You are asking me to order him to pay you $1,000. How much did she finally end up paying you for the repairs?
$160.
When you paid him $160 for repairs. And most of what he repaired, I don't even know what your complaint is. I understand that according to you, the watch, the coach watch, well, here I can obviously see that little spring from the wristband, but that's a nominal repair. You didn't take it to somebody to find, okay, it costs $20, I want my $20 back because it's going to cost me $20 to fix it or $40 to fix it or $50. You've done nothing to figure out how much it's going to cost to fix that. And that's the only thing that's left. You accepted the ring, and I don't know, that's a matter of taste, whether you think the prongs are low, uneven, I don't like how it looks aesthetically, and yet you want me to say this is unacceptable when you accepted it and paid for it. I mean, so really it all comes down to the fact that the wristband is off the watch. That's what this all comes down to. And what that is worth. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to order you to pay her $40 for that repair because that's where, since neither of you have any evidence of what the repair would cost, typically your side would come with an estimate. I'm going to order you to pay her $40, and that is it. That is my verdict on your counterclaim 0.
Okay.
And so with a $40 judgment in tow, this is the plaintiff out in the hallway here. What's your feeling about this outcome?
I'm glad that it's over, and I'm going to not look back.
$40 you got. You sued for a lot more than that. Satisfied?
I'm satisfied because it's over.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
All right, so step on in here and $40 over to the plaintiff.
Right.
Was this worth it?
Well, to clear my name, I was accused of giving her a counterfeit watch.
Right. Have you recovered from that poisoning?
No.
Really? What's going on?
It's in my system now, the mold, and I have a lung disease out of it, so it's going to be a long
right, well,
recovery time. Thank you very much.
Get well. All right, Harvey?
Okay, quick tip. If I were you, when you take something expensive to a repair shop, especially something like jewelry, take pictures of the item before you hand it over to the guy, because that way you have a baseline and you can show what it was like before.